guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are brand new to my channel, welcome. If you are not, this is a very different video than anything I've ever done. But I did have a few people ask questions in regards to my protein shake and kind of just ask in general what I eat on a daily basis and stuff. So I figured I would share. I was already going to be making me a protein shake for lunch today, so I figured I would go ahead and just share the recipe and kind of what I do. So let's go ahead and get using. The first thing that I do is I do add, this is a solo cup, just a clear solo cup, and I do about this much ice. And I use the larger size. I just prefer the larger size. One, I like there to be a little bit more room for blending. And then also the extra shake I give to the boys. They think it's like a treat. I kind of treat it like a dessert for them. So the first thing that I add is my milk. And we happen to use soy milk. We use the Silk brand. This is the only one you use, the Silk brand, the unsweetened. And you know, whatever milk you guys use, I actually have, I'm not lactose intolerant, but I do have sensitivities to milk. Sometimes it just feels really, really heavy. And sometimes I do get an upset stomach with certain things that I will drink that have milk in them. I can tolerate it sometimes, but you just never know. And actually my oldest has milk sensitivities as well. He's not lactose intolerant, but he's very similar to me as far as every once in a while milk will upset his stomach. So when we switched to soy, we do not have those issues anymore. So I'm gonna add a little bit of that, or I really don't measure. I usually tend to allow it to come up to the ice. So something about to there. So again, I don't measure. I really just kind of eyeball everything. And so that is basically the first thing that I add. The next thing that I add is a banana. And I will say this, I am not a banana person. I really do not like bananas. Like I'm not just gonna grab this and be like, oh, I feel like eating a banana. No, but I think it's really important to the consistency of this protein shake. My husband has made my protein shake for me before and he forgot to put a banana in it and it was awful. I did not like it. Not only does this add creaminess, but it also takes away the powdery flavor from the protein powder. And so I do add a banana and then I just kind of, you know, pull it apart into, you know, 3 or 4 little chunks and just kind of throw it in the blender. And then there you go. And then the next thing that I add is actually a honey. And I do this for a couple of reasons. One, honey is very good for you, but also it adds a little bit of sweetness to it and it kind of takes away, again, that powder flavor from the protein. And so this is the one that I use for my protein shakes. I buy the same one over and over for my protein shakes. It's an organic, very raw honey and it's unfiltered. You can see kind of what you could see. This is the same one that I buy every single time. And I love this honey, but I do keep 3 different kinds of honeys in my house at all times. This one that we use for protein shakes and things like that. And then this is the one that I keep in the house for the boys. I do not buy syrup or anything, so if they ever eat waffles or pancakes or anything like that and we want to drizzle honey, I do buy a local. I always buy local for the boys. Local is healthier for you. It's just healthier. You can look it up and see it, but this is just a local honey. So yours obviously would be different. So whether you have the honey in the bear or whatever, any honey will work for this. This is just the one that I use, but if you have something like this, more of this kind of honey, like the one in the little bear, that will work as well. And then the last honey that I always keep in the house, I will not use it for protein shakes because it's just way too expensive, is Manuka honey. But I just love this honey. I always keep this in the house. I actually use this when the boys are sick or I'm sick or my husband's sick, and I make a little honey tea with a little bit of lemon essential oil, sometimes thieves essential oil. And so I use this and I love it. But again, this container is like 25, 30 bucks, maybe $20. I don't know. It's expensive. So I do not use it for my protein shakes. This is like 6 bucks and then this is like 10 bucks. You can find a raw honey. So next I will add a raw honey and I usually add about a tablespoon of this. And I just kind of grab some. The texture of raw honey is different. It's chunky, which is why I do not use it for pancakes and stuff like this. Sometimes I will spread it on a waffle if I'm having a waffle for myself, but for the boys, they like it to feel like it's like syrup or something, so I use the other one for them. This one's just too thick and chunky. And then the last thing that I add before the protein powder is a butter. And when I first started making this protein shake, I used to use a peanut butter, very, very similar to this one, minus the honey. This brand is by Central Market, and I always get a smooth one, and I prefer the no stirs. They're just easier to deal with. And this one has a little bit of honey. I didn't used to buy the honey until I switched to the butter that I'm currently using, but you can definitely use a peanut butter if you wish, kind of what you have on hand, or what you prefer. But now I use an almond butter, and this is the one that I'm currently buying. I really like it. It has a really good flavor, and it is by the Justin brand, classic almond butter, and it's all natural. And I do a little bit more almond butter than I do honey, but I use the same size spoon, and I just kind of like a mound like that. And so, I don't know, maybe it's about 1.5 tablespoons, maybe 2 tablespoons. It's really up to you. You can put as much as you want. But like I said, I really do eyeball it. And the very, very last thing that I do is add my protein powder. And this is the protein powder that I use. This is probably my 5th or 6th container of this exact protein powder. I only buy chocolate flavored. I do not like vanilla or strawberry flavored protein powder. I don't know why. I just do not like the flavor of it at all. This is by 22 Day Nutrition. It's an organic vegan protein powder. It's protein powder. It is plant protein powder, vegan, gluten-free, non-GMO, soy-free, and dairy-free. And again, it's chocolate. This is the one that I find that works for me. However, you know, kind of whatever works for you guys. Again, same reason why I got the vegan. We are not vegan. We eat chicken, we eat turkey, we eat seafood. But I just find that sometimes dairy does upset my stomach, and sometimes just certain proteins can be a little heavy, and I just really, really like this one. Even though it still has that little bit of powdery flavor, which is why I add the banana, it's not as intense or as strong as some of the other ones that I've tasted. And this one does not upset my stomach, and I have gotten upset stomachs from other protein powders. But I really like this one. Like I said, this is my 5th or 6th container. My husband actually uses this protein powder too, and I do 1 scoop. And so I will just add that to my container or my cup. And that is pretty much it. Now also with this, you know, I mean, I am not a nutritionist. I really do not have any idea what I'm talking about. This is just what works for me. I find that I can do this, and not only does it taste amazing, but it's actually really satisfying, and it holds me over until my next meal, which is super important to me. I find that if I were to do a protein shake and I didn't enjoy it, one, I wouldn't drink it. I'm gonna put a little bit more soy milk, just because it looks a little bit thick on the top. If I were to force myself to eat or drink a protein shake and I didn't enjoy it, one, I wouldn't do it, and two, I wouldn't feel satisfied. So an hour or two after, I would go into my pantry and snack, and that kind of defeats the whole purpose. Whereas this really does tie me over until my next meal, which is huge for me. So not only do I get all this yummy goodness, all this proteins and vitamins and all that and everything that's in here, but I'm satisfied. Like, not just satisfied from the flavor, but satisfied until the next meal. It feels like a meal to me. And so this one's gonna feel, I think the banana, I gotta shake it up a little bit. The banana blocked a little bit of those liquids, so. Okay, lock it in. There we go. I usually just make sure it doesn't feel too thick or too thin, and it feels good to me. And that is pretty much it, guys. And honestly, I'm gonna have this for lunch today, and we are actually going out to dinner tonight. And so this is gonna satisfy me. And you can see, I like to make mine thick like a milkshake. And then look at how much I have left over. I will give that to the boys, or I'll save it for later, or maybe I'll drink it if I'm still hungry after this. But it's really good. It almost feels like a treat. It feels like a dessert. The honey and the almond butter, the banana, it makes it really smooth and creamy, and the honey makes it really sweet. And so I really like this. So if you guys are looking or trying to enjoy a protein shake, but they taste powdery or they're just not good. Make it a little bit more like this. Add the ice. And you know, I know my husband, he could totally just do the protein powder, water, shake it up and drink that. I can't do that. I will not enjoy myself. It will not be satisfying. It'll feel like a chore to drink it. And so when I do this, it actually feels like a meal to me. And so I really enjoy it. I will link the protein powder that I buy below. If you guys have any questions, definitely let me know. And again, I'm not a nutritionist. I'm just letting you guys know what I do, what works for me. And I find that if I do this several times throughout the week to substitute a meal, I find that it helps my calorie intake. It helps me be a little bit healthier. It helps my energy because I'm getting all the protein that I usually don't get because I am more of a carb person and I don't like to deprive myself. I want to eat what I want to eat. And so this allows me to kind of get a little bit more of a balanced diet since I don't really eat that much protein in my diet. And so this really helps me kind of balance out, and it's convenient. I can have one of these for lunch or for dinner and not have to worry about cooking a meal. This is really what I do when I'm not doing Blue Apron. And so it really works out for both my husband and I, and it keeps us healthy. So there you go. Comment below and I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks. Bye-bye.